Hi guys, as you may know, I'm repairing this EverReady N3 chassis. But it occurred to me that while I was changing the parts beneath the chassis, as you can see I'm doing, um, it I noticed that one of the pins of this tube socket, namely the second one next to my finger, is broken. Now whether I broke it or whether it was broken when I started repairing it, I don't know. However, the consequence is still the same. I will probably need to change this tube socket, unfortunately. So, which means that I'll be having to go and buy a new tube socket. And, well, if I'm at it, maybe I might buy 4 new tube sockets, but really, if I can, I want to try to avoid this. Because, as you can imagine, it's quite a fiddly job repairing such a small and tight chassis. Anyway, I managed to change one of the resistors, which was a 2.2. Now the original resistor, the original 2.2, which you see here in the picture, measured something like 3.8 mega ohms instead of 2.2. And let's face it, that's really too much off. Just to show you, the value it measures now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. So as you can see, the value it measures now is 3.15, and actually this part should measure 2.2. So let's say at least that part needed to be changed. So there you are. I want to change this resistor, or rather I did change this resistor, but as I just finished saying, the pin inside the socket on the other side of the socket broke off, or was broken. Like I say, I don't know whether I broke it or whether it was broken, but anyway, well, like I just said a few minutes before, the consequence is that I will need to buy a new tube socket. So anyway, stay in touch for further developments on this chassis, and I'll be catching up with the news later this week, or rather next week. I'll see you then. Because I haven't received the parts yet, well, all the parts, to refurbish the EverReady N3 chassis, I thought that for a change I would concentrate a little bit on stripping the old box of its worn vinyl cover to give it a new cover. Well, like I said, it's vinyl, and this vinyl is probably, or was probably, glued onto a very basic, simple wooden box. Now, I did a little bit of thinking on how to best release the vinyl from the box, and I settled on using the heat gun. And I already did this side of the box, and as you see, it went rather well. There are no traces left of the vinyl on the wood, except perhaps a little bit of discoloring of the wood, but that I'll be able to fix with a light sanding, and then maybe even sealing the wood. And then I'll see what I'll do. Either I'll put new vinyl covering on top of it, or I might even leave the box as it is if it's nice enough. And well, like one of my vintage repair buddies, Bob, I might try some techniques on it to give it a wood finish, but I don't know. Right now I'll just concentrate on stripping it from its old vinyl covering, and you're welcome to look at how I'm doing it for a few moments, because I imagine you are all curious to see how it turns out. Okay, here we go. Take the heat gun. This is my heat gun, and there we go. The heat gun is pretty hot, so I really have to keep moving it over the vinyl, because as you might suspect, vinyl is plastic, and heat, well, they don't go together well. So I think that should do it. That should be hot enough. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's put away that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, there you go. Obviously, I'm using only one hand, but as you can see, it comes loose rather easily. You know, it's rather easy to do. So let me finish the box first, and I'll get back to you in a moment. Okay? Okay, this is the stage we're at. As you see, I managed to release most of the vinyl from the sides of the cabinet. Now I'm going to release it from the edge and from the inside of the box, and then I'll be back. Okay, here goes the top cover. I need a little bit of extra heat. You shouldn't linger too long in one spot with the heat gun, because like I'll show you in a moment, lingering over vinyl with about 350 degrees C is not a good idea. Hang on, here we go. Ah, yes. That helped. And there we go. Ta-da! And this was the bottom of our case. Pretty dirty and worn, but we'll do something new with it. Okay, just let me finish the top cover and I'll be back. Okay, I'm done with stripping the box in which the EverReady N3 chassis sat, and as you can see, it's well, I think it's nothing more than some cheap plywood held together with another kind of plywood. It's not plywood, but I can't remember the name exactly right now. But anyway, it's a sort of a reinforced cardboard, you could say. Nothing special. It's really cheap. Yeah, there's nothing expensive about this box. So anyway, as you can see, the stripping of it was rather painless, quite easy. An interesting detail is that the vinyl, the top vinyl and the side vinyl, were squeezed into a very narrow slit, which you see here at my fingertip. The slit is cut about I'd say 3 or 4 millimeters into the wood, and I presume that when they mounted the vinyl or glued the vinyl to the sides and to the topper, they would take an instrument pretty much like a screwdriver and then squeeze the vinyl into this crease or into the slit like this, by passing over the vinyl like this. Obviously it would have been probably a blunt object. This is far too sharp and would have damaged the vinyl. But anyway, that's, I think, how they did it. And they used some, well, I think some pretty basic glue. The glue immediately let loose once I unleashed the heat of the heat gun on it. Also, just to give you a view of how vinyl ages, at the left you see vinyl which was inside the box. At the right you see the vinyl as it was on the outside. So you see how vinyl can age. Yeah, it turns effectively yellow because the original vinyl was more like, almost like snakeskin pattern and gray-greenish, whereas the outside is a drab yellow, well, gray-green sort of stuff. A small warning to you all: if you think about stripping a box, a radio, of its vinyl cover, don't linger too long in one spot, because this is what you get, a real burn mark. It burned and it smoked and it gives an absolute vile odor. So once again, don't linger with your heat gun. So that's it, guys, for now. I'll be back later in the week, and like I said, as long as I don't have the parts to continue work on the chassis, I'm going to concentrate on the box and all its trimmings. So I'll see you later then. Bye.